the shocking beauty of the Mediterranean. You won't believe it until you see it with your own eyes. That's why people strive to come here to Greece, seeking beautiful sceneries and complete tranquility. We were lucky to experience it too. But in order for the story to unfold, let's get back on track as we begin another episode of our project with Roula Rouva Real Estate Agency by opening the door to another world.
Go. Wow.
Well, here we are. We made it. Now we are full-fledged islanders. Strictly speaking, our story started a couple of hours ago, back on Corfu. We reached here by water. There's no other way to get here. 60 minutes on the Dolphin, or any boat from the island of Corfu, across the Ionian Sea, and here we are, the final destination of our journey, Paxos. Greece is a land of many legends. Here is one, for example. The god Poseidon chipped off a part of the island of Corfu with his trident. The result was this piece of land measuring 25 square kilometers called Paxos. Here there are 3 doctors, 2 gas stations, 1 school, 1 bus route, and not a single traffic light. And only a few thousand people live here. One of them is Ioanna.
The population of Paxos is 2,500 residents, if we count those who live here permanently. But in the summer, when the tourists come, the population increases to 30,000.
And what will we see if we come here in the winter?
Most of these boats won't be here. The souvenir shops will be closed. Only the supermarkets and the pharmacies will be open.
Ioanna, Natalia, and I are walking through the very center of the capital of Paxos Island. It's called Chios. The city looks most impressive from the water. Beautiful yachts sailing into such an elegant harbour. The tourists that arrive on them almost immediately take a seat on the decks to overlook the view. The restaurants along the waterfront merging with the ship decks. Paxos is a contender for one of the most heavenly places on earth.
There are 9 supermarkets on the island, mostly owned by local residents. But don't worry, goods are supplied year-round. There are around 40 cafes and restaurants, 20 of which are open all the time.
What do the locals do? In the summer, it's clear they serve tourists, mainly English ones. And during the rest of the year, they grow olives, they fish, and build and sell what they've built. We just saw the largest town on Paxos. Now we will check out Laka, the second largest town on Paxos, an island which, I repeat, has a population of 2,500 people. I think that Laka offers an even more accurate picture of what the island is all about. Narrow streets, 2-story, 1-story, occasionally 3-story houses, and the sea comes right up to the edge of the city. It's like being in a theatrical backdrop around the 16th, 17th, 18th century, in excellent condition but small in size. The center of the town Laka is 100 by 100 meters at most. The people around me right now, almost all of them are tourists. There are no local residents, and in winter there won't be any here at all. The little restaurants will close simply because there's no demand. In the world, and even in Greece, there are many secluded places. But what makes Paxos in particular so impressive? Perhaps its proportionality to humans, and also the fact it's an island. Islands have their own charming nature. All these small villages on Paxos were once fishing villages. The only reminders of this nowadays are probably the countless boats. But of course they are no longer fishermen's boats. Now fishing is a hobby. And money? Well, money is earned from tourists. The ones sitting in these restaurants in the evenings. Now they, like us, will finish eating, have a drink, make arrangements, and slowly go to their villa in absolute silence, interrupted only by the sound of the waves. When I said people will go to their villa, it was not a coincidence. There are no apartment buildings on Paxos, and there are no hotels in the conventional sense of a holiday resort either. There are no hotels on Paxos in the usual classical sense of the word. No places with 50, 100, let alone more rooms. The place where we are now is where tourists actually stay when they come to Paxos. These are separate houses, but they have a small common area, their own small cafe, and their own small laundry room. This is where tourists come. They rent here, and among other things, they probably have the best view. Down there is where we had dinner last night. To get there are two ways: by car with a short detour of about 10 minutes, or on foot by walking down a narrow path for about 3 minutes.
These small apartments are rented out in the summer. People enjoy here beautiful views of the Blue Lagoon of Laka. A part of this complex can be bought, generating passive income. There is a company that is fully involved in the management and also the cleaning of the complex.
Houses with a view like this can cost 200,000, 300,000. For Paxos, it's not much, although such settlements are rare in this area. After all, people come here for seclusion, and that's easier to find in a villa like the one we came to. Here, you definitely won't be in plain sight.
It costs 990,000, and this is an offer for investors because this villa is rented out for 1,000 euros per day in the low season. If it's July or August, we get 1,500 euros per day for this villa, and our season lasts 150 days.
Miracles don't happen, it won't be rented out every day, but the math is more or less clear.
A very nice bonus to the fact that we don't only get passive income is that the value of the villa itself is also growing.
4 bedrooms on 2 levels, a kitchen, hall, a swimming pool, and a place where in the morning you can have a real Greek coffee, sip by sip.
On the island of Paxos, there are mostly villas or detached houses for sale. All of them are located outside the capital. Most people seek privacy, which is why they prefer to buy something outside the city. For the same exact reason, many choose to build their own villa somewhere in the countryside.
So, we headed away from the shore and into the distance. 3,000. This is approximately the number of houses on Paxos. Not for sale, in total. Obviously, the supply here is negligible. And how many options are there?
At the moment, about 400. Of course, most of them are plots of land, another part of the real estate market. The cost of plots starts from 500,000 euros. These are plots that give you the opportunity to build a small villa. A 4,000 square meter plot allows you to build 186 square meters in total. But the point is that this villa will be built exactly as you want it.
So, construction on Paxos, greenery, hills, and at some distance, the sea. Construction, building, it's not the most photogenic, not the most beautiful process, but here it's pretty clear what it's all about. This view right here is exactly the kind of thing that's worth the money they're asking for.
Construction on Paxos is subject to certain restrictions. The plot for construction must be at least 4,000 square meters. All construction work stops on June 1st and resumes on October 1st. We care about the vacationers. Usually, we start construction in the middle of autumn and complete the project the following year.
We come back once again to Gaios, which in a month will go on vacation, like a tired host fed up with its intrusive guests. The whole island will fall into a slumber, interrupted only by the hum of a few construction cranes. Still, why do people buy here?
People buy here to A. Preserve their money, B. Generate income. The rental cost here is twice as high compared to Corfu. Why? Because the houses for rent are unique. English people from the highest circles come here to vacation or to stay. Most of Paxos' tourists are English. Why? Because for them, both Corfu and Paxos are considered their second home. For them, it's a place they go to as their summer house.
That's Paxos for you, 25 square kilometers, where you will completely forget that there is a huge civilized concrete world somewhere else. Yes, you might not be in a big city, but those who come here, or more precisely sail here, are seeking a different connection with nature, the sea, and tranquility, with something that today is absolutely priceless.